Some problems for Daniel Dubois. What do you think then? Will we see Don Charles returning in time for Saturday?
Yeah, that is the big question, and the issues are because Don Charles is ill, he's got a cold, and he's being kept away, we're told, from Daniel Dubois and his camp as a precaution. But let's not forget, this is the biggest week of his fighting career as he defends a world title for the very first time, headlining here at Wembley Stadium. And Johnny Nelson, irrespective of whether he'd be doing much training this week, Daniel Dubois, not having Don Charles here for all of these media events, that will be having some impact, won't it?
I was suspicious of that from the beginning of weeks because I just didn't see Don around. And then all of a sudden the conspiracy theories have started to roll up. What's happening in camp? Have they fallen out? Because knowing Don the way I do, I think Don is the kind of guy that needs to get into the head of his fighter all the way through, be positive, talk about the things you can do, what you should be doing. So with him not being around Daniel this week, I think that's a hindrance, because Daniel's going to be around people when it comes to these events that haven't been in India for the last 12 weeks in camp. So unfortunately, Don is not feeling great, and so he's doing the right thing. He's got to be on the phone to him all the time. But these situations, I remember Brendan, he'd stick to you by your ear and you'd be saying something in camera and he'd whisper in your ear and be just talking away, something positive, so you just didn't get knocked off that pedestal. So the fighter psyche, I think Daniel's got a great game face so far this week, but I think it should be very important that Don is here.
Yeah, we're not expecting to see Don Charles back for the press conference today. He may recover in time, but we're not expecting it. Possibly back for the weigh-in tomorrow, but we're told he will be in his corner come Saturday. From Daniel's point of view, to be fair to him, he seems to have coped with everything pretty calmly, given the magnitude of the event.
Yeah. Well, and that's what he's got. And this is the years and however long their union's been. Don's words of wisdom, the words of preparation, mental as well as physical, have got to have settled in and sat with Daniel. Because if they haven't, the wheels will fall off probably at the weigh-in. You know, the energy will have burnt out by the time of the night of the fight. This week is a very important week. There's no physical training. It's all about that. So Don not being there, I think, is an issue. But it depends on how close Don is when on the phone to Daniel in between this time.
And he does have Kieran Farrell, a man who's obviously been there himself, and Frank Warren, someone who has guided Tyson Fury back from the brink. So he's got experienced heads around.
Yeah, but you just need boxing folk. And I mean real boxing folk that are in the gym when you're sweating, in the gym when times are hard, in the gym with you when you're feeling up and when you're down, that know you. And that's why I'm saying Don and Daniel, that's why that union there, no matter who else he gets around there, they're a temporary fix. And that's why that click there is really important.
What about Anthony Joshua then? Because he has been dialed in from Monday when we first sat down with him at that media content capture day. Tuesday was the grand arrivals. Last night at the open workout, something conflict, I think, in his head, because he was all business. There was a little bit more humour. Before that, he was a little bit more amenable with the media. Last night, I just got the sense he's ready for business.
The mask dropped.
Yeah, a little bit.
And listen, most fighters don't like this week, and AJ understands what this week's about, even though he doesn't like doing it. The mask dropped slightly, which is a good thing. It's a good thing because he understands the risk-reward, the risk of losing to Daniel Dubois is massive. Is massive, so he can't be befriending us, making us feel sweet, and all the fans. He'll do what he has to do that makes him feel comfortable. So now it's game time, game face, and he's got to show Daniel this is what it's like at world-class level. This is how you do it. And so how he's conducted himself is exactly what he wants to do. He said as little as possible in regards to doing the interview, the obligations that he had, but I understand why.
So AJ has been dialed in. Dubois, more naturally conservative, a little bit shy in front of the cameras. At the press conference this evening, Johnny, this is a final opportunity, isn't it, to land a psychological blow, because they both have to talk or say something at least.
Well, it's not secret. Daniel's not the sharpest when it comes to giving a bit of back chat. So therefore, Daniel will be one-liners, and Frank will probably be the one doing most of the talking. Whereas AJ wants to stay humble, but if you disrespect him, he's going to come back at you with something. If the right question is asked, he will answer it, but it might not be received very well by the other side. So it's tomorrow you want to look out for when it comes to the weigh-in, because these fighters now know the talking has stopped. It's you and me. The next time I see you is when the bell goes. And that is tomorrow, keep an eye on. I think today these guys will be pretty cool, pretty calm, unless Frank's wound Daniel up to try and get some one-liners out. I don't think that would happen if Don was there. Don was saying, let me do the talking. You know, just don't let him overrun you, but you've got to try and control this.